Hi! Subscribe now if you have big dick, perfect boobs or low self-esteem. Anyway, we're here to talk about upcoming games. I thought about doing first half of this year first, but then I checked my list and turns out every one of those games is coming during the first quarter, so I think I'm doing quarterly now. January, February, March, although I know we're like halfway through January at this point, but still, I'm doing the first 3 months, and yeah, in the future I'll be doing other quarterlies too. Anyway, 7 games I'm waiting to be released during the first quarter of this year. What are you doing here? You gonna go to sleep up there? Great. Number 1 that's coming out, and I'm doing this in chronological order, the way they've set their release date, so this one comes before the rest of the games in this video. But yeah, this one's being released January 27th. And you know what? To be completely honest, I'm not actually expecting this game to be really that great. It might be, I don't know, I haven't played it, but the real reason why I'm really curious about this game is because I used to love the original games back in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember the exact dates when they were released, but yeah, they're apparently making a remake of Speedball. Now, if you don't know what Speedball is, it was that top-down American football type of game, little bit, except it was way more bloodier, and you had a little iron ball. I think it was 4 against 4. I actually just a little while ago, I tried Speedball 1 for the first time. I've never played that before, but yeah, I played it, and I gotta say Speedball 2 is still my favorite in the series. But yeah, they're remaking Speedball, and it's all in 3D. I hope you can still hire guys and all that, look at their stats and get those to your team, and they'll stick with the really gruesome, bloody theme where you can just beat the crap out of your opponents while trying to score. It's like handball. Actually, yeah, it's more like handball than American football. But yeah, Speedball, the idea has always been simple. 2 teams go against one another and try to score. That's pretty much it. But I played the shit out of Speedball 2 growing up. I loved that game. I was so good at that. I was pretty good at that game. I think I beat it. I played it so many times. I beat it. I'm sure I beat it. Not every time, but sometimes, it was hard. It was brutal. God damn. Loved that game. Really looking forward to trying the new remake. Although I watched the trailer and you can probably see or maybe the trailer already played out, I don't know, but it was here and I'm still excited just because it's Speedball and I miss Speedball, so I'm gonna get it, so screw you. I know there's probably games that are more worthy of my interest coming during this first quarter that I'd probably be more into, but god damn it, nostalgia points, Speedball. Well, it's the first one to release. This is not exactly a list, this is just chronological order, so yeah, Speedball. Let's move on. There's not much to talk about Speedball. You draw a ball, try to score, great. Second game that's coming out, it's actually being released January 30th, so 2 games this month. Great, but I gotta do more overtime so I can buy all those. But yeah, it's a game in a series that I have never played, even though I have actually at least one of the games in the series, and that was remake of the first game for SNES. Yeah. And the series I'm talking about is Front Mission 3, mech strategy action game, turn-based. I do believe. I watched the trailer. It's turn-based, yeah, just like the first and second one. But it looks more, because the first and second one, I do believe both were for Super Nintendo. I know the first one was. I think I gotta pop in the first one and actually give it a go before I get this one. But yeah, I've always been interested. If you know me, I love my turn-based strategic action games. Those are always great, XCOM games and all those. But this is more like a tactical, not exactly like XCOM, but or that's kind of the picture I've gotten. This is more just moving your units one after another, and well, that's kind of what XCOM is. But XCOM brings so many other tactical elements into it. But still, looking forward to Front Mission 3, mechs, turn-based. Really gotta give the first one a go. I love mechs. But this one, actually, it looks a bit better. This is a remake of the Front Mission 3. Anyway, Front Mission 3, I do believe it came out for PlayStation 1 originally. At least judging by the trailer, it looks kind of that type of graphics that it might have come out for PlayStation 1. So, yeah, I'm really interested. PlayStation 1, one of my all-time favorite consoles. So, so many good games, and don't really know much what to say here because I haven't played any of those. All I know is it's mechs, it's turn-based. I love that. So yeah, I'm getting this. Third game coming out, and this is actually probably the game I'm looking for the most out of this list. I can't wait to actually get my hands on this. Again, a remake. What can I say? I'm a nostalgic guy. I love my retro stuff and all that. But this is also in a series that I have played 0 games in. I've been meaning to buy because they've been remaking these games like crazy. And I haven't bought any of those. They've been releasing the first one, the second one, and the third one. I still have to buy those. But this is actually the 7th game in the series. I'm talking about Dragon Quest VII. Yes, I've never played any Dragon Quest games. Never. Not one. I have Dragon Quest, was it 11, the last one? I have that PlayStation 4. Never played it. I always wanted to get into it. Just didn't have the time. These are JRPGs. They take so much time. And I really like the PlayStation 1 style. You know, always been a huge fan of the Final Fantasy games of PlayStation 1. And yeah, it's just, I just love that style. The first 3 Dragon Quest games, they were for Super Nintendo. Was it NES? Yeah, it was released as Dragon Warrior or some shit here in West. I do believe so, that's why it's kind of hard to remember. But the first one was for NES. I don't know about the second one or third one, but the graphical style is kind of... I love that style too, but I actually played a couple of JRPGs last year that were more kind of looking like that graphical style. So, well, actually I played one. The other one was PlayStation 1 style. Well, anyway, I played more that type of JRPGs overall throughout my life. So yeah, I want to get into some PlayStation 1 style JRPG stuff. So yeah, and Dragon Quest series I've never played. I don't know what it is. Some weird reason I've always managed to avoid this series and don't know why, but god damn it, I've seen the trailer of Dragon Quest VII, the remake, and it looks good. It looks so fun, kind of colorful. It doesn't look as serious as Final Fantasy games, which I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It makes it different tonally, which, you know, sometimes you want something a little lighter and funner, so maybe I'll go with that. Maybe in these ones, you don't have to save the whole goddamn universe every time. That would be a change of pace. I actually welcome that. It's always in JRPGs, you have to save the universe, or at least your planet, or some shit. But yeah, Dragon Quest VII, JRPG, old school PlayStation 1 style, really looking forward to. And if I'm not totally mistaken, Dragon Quest VII, I don't believe we got it here in West back in the days. I always remember seeing Dragon Quest VIII for PlayStation 2, but I never heard Dragon Quest VII or never saw it anywhere. So that might be one of the reasons why I missed it. That would be logical. I'm gonna buy that. That's gonna be my first dive into Dragon Quest series. Is it a good starting place? I don't even know. I'm still gonna buy the 1 and 2 and 3 at some point, but fuck it, I'll play 7 first. Final Fantasy, 7's best, so I'm guessing here it's the same thing. Fourth game that's coming out that's on my list to things to look out for is a game that's actually a love story. Have I told you I don't really care for love stories that much? I mean, sometimes they're good, yeah, but I'm more of a more brutish action and don't talk about your feelings type of guy. But sometimes love stories are great. At least okay, I guess. But since we're in the subject of love stories, everyone probably knows the biggest, most famous love story of the whole fucking history of humankind, Romeo and Juliet. So that's why I'm interested when they're making actual game about the subject, except it's called Romeo Is A Deadman, and it's made by Suda51, who's known to make all kinds of weird and wacky fucking games that are bloody and gory and also weirdly funny too. So yeah, really looking forward to getting my hands on this, although there are a couple of other Suda51 games I need to buy too. Lollipop Chainsaw, that just got released for PlayStation 5 as a physical form. I need to buy that. That's been on my shopping list for God knows how long. Well, not the PlayStation 5 version, because that just got released, I think, like last fall. But yeah, I'm getting that version at some point. That's a guarantee. I've been putting that off for so long. But now, Suda51 is coming out with a new game, Romeo Is A Deadman, and judging by the trailer, it looks like it's gonna be hack and slashy, and it's gonna be bloody, and it's kinda gonna be having that weird, quirky, dark humor that Suda51 has. I haven't actually played too many Suda51 games. Probably my favorite is still the hell was that? Shadow of Damned? Shadows of... It was the guy with the gun that made all those dick jokes. It's been a long while since I played that, but I do remember there being dick jokes. A lot of dick jokes, so...
Enlarge your Johnson! Oh my god, 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 shoot!
If this is anything like that, it's gonna be right up my alley. I'm really looking forward to this one. Crazy, just fucking out there Japanese style humor, gore, hack and slash. That's all I know about this. I've only seen the trailer. Also, Romeo dies at the start. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but judging by the trailer, apparently he dies. And comes back and, I don't know, weird shit going on in this one. Might wanna keep your eye on this. Fifth game that's coming out during this first quarter of this year. The hell are you screaming? Fifth game that's coming out this year that I'm really looking forward, at least this first quarter, is coming out February 13th. And it's a game made by guys who made a popular horror series that... wanna go down? No, you're not going down. Really popular horror game series. Small games, games you might have heard about, called Little Nightmares. They made the first and second one, and okay, you wanna go down. They made a horror game series. They made Little Nightmares 1 and 2, if I'm not completely mistaken. Last year, I actually played my first Little Nightmares game, which was Little Nightmares 3. And as I was playing that, I liked it, but I was a bit disappointed. It kind of a bit too static, all the backgrounds and all that, and everything looked really great, but there wasn't really much to interact or something. I was a bit disappointed because it was such a small game. I was hoping a little more interactivity and all that kind of stuff, and story-wise, maybe it was a little bit of a letdown, but still, despite all that, I still have this kind of hankering to try out the first and second Little Nightmare, because they look like better games. I don't know, maybe they're the same, but I've heard that a lot of people don't like the third one as much as first two, so I kind of want to give those a try, but those guys who made Little Nightmares 1 and 2, they actually have a new game coming out, which kind of looks like Little Nightmares games, except, if possible, even more creepier and even more horror-infused. And this one, I think I'm gonna try this one first. Because this one actually, it looks freaky. The game I'm talking about is ReAnimal. Yeah, I just watched the trailer and it's some kind of nightmare fuel, kind of. The visuals, it looks great, just like Little Nightmares 3, which is the only one I played, like I said. It looked visually great, and this one also looks visually just disturbing and great. It looks even more disturbing than Little Nightmares 3. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna play this, and if this is actually really great and it blows my mind, I'm definitely gonna go back and play Little Nightmares 1 and 2 after this. But yeah, this is gonna be their shot to convince me to go back and try their first games. So I hope they don't fuck this up. It's just the whole kind of story, and you go, there were two main characters, you go as, I don't know if you can pick and choose like in the Little Nightmares 3, or maybe you're just stuck playing with other. But yeah, if you're into Little Nightmares games, this might be one that you might want to keep your eye on too, because it does look kind of more of the same, but it actually, the trailer looks, when it comes to the scope, I think it looks maybe a bit bigger, maybe a bit better. Trailers might show us the kind of best bits to make it look better than it actually is. Who knows? So I'm always skeptical when it comes to trailers. Especially these days, trailers just don't really mean shit. But this one, it caught my eye. So yeah, once ReAnimal is released for the first time, I'm definitely gonna go and pick this one up. I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of hoping for a little collector's edition. I kind of want to do more unboxings. At the end of last year, I did a ton of unboxings on this channel, and I want to do more. So yeah, hopefully they put out, because Little Nightmares 1 and 2 also, and third one, all had a collector's edition. So I do believe these guys, they're really into collector's editions, and they should be giving us some kind of collector's edition, some kind of physical version. I hope so. God damn it. But February 13th, Little Nightmares 4, ReAnimal. Sixth game that's coming out, and this is actually the biggest game on this list. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Romeo Is A Deadman Well, that's not AAA game. I'm not even sure if this is AAA game. It looks like AAA game. It might be. This one, when I saw the first trailer, I kind of was like, yeah, you know, could be good, maybe not, I don't know, who knows. It looked kind of, it takes place in fantasy world with swords and all that. And look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of tired of that. That and sci-fi stuff. I kind of want something a bit more grittier and more leaning to realism these days. But still, sometimes I do like to venture out if something looks really good in the world of fantasy and sci-fi. They're making so many games that take place in those types of worlds that I'm kind of... I think I have fatigue. I have fatigue when it comes to fantasy and sci-fi stuff, so... I don't go for those as hard as I used to. At least I'm gonna take a little breaks. But this one actually, this looked pretty goddamn good. Like I said, sword fighting, big monsters and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's a game that's coming out March 19th, and it's called Crimson Desert. Kind of gave me a little bit of Witcher 3 vibes in the style of some of the elements on the trailer, but I'm not gonna compare this to that. That's, I mean, Witcher 3 is kind of in its own league. That's established very well in the world of gaming, so don't want to get compared to that too much unless you're bringing out the big guns. And rarely people can match that, so I'm not gonna compare this to Witcher 3. I'm gonna just look at this as its own thing, and I'm gonna go into this as its own thing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy this. This one actually had a collector's edition. It had a kind of huge statue. It was big, but it was, I think it was like 400 euros. Maybe 300, but I'm remembering 400. I'd love to do unboxing, but that's a lot of dough. I'm probably gonna skip that. There was a somewhat cheaper version that was, a lot cheaper version, which was like a limited edition or something, where you get, you know, your usual crap. I do believe there was like art book, maybe some postcards or something, I don't know. Your usual kind of crap. So who knows, I might go for that one, unless I win like in lottery or something. I gotta take my car, take it to shop, got the yearly maintenance coming and all that shit. That 400 collector's edition, that might be out of my reach. Plus also there's a new franchise, so it's always a gamble when you buy a collector's edition for a new game that you basically don't know much else except the trailer for. But this one did look pretty convincing when it came to the trailer. The combat looked fun, sleek, smooth, and like I said, fast-paced. Big enemies, big monsters, always like that in fantasy games, and apparently pretty goddamn huge map. I haven't even googled anything, because I usually like to go into this as blind as I can, but obviously I gotta watch something, so I watched trailer or two, just so I know if I'm going to be interested or not. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks good. I hope it doesn't disappoint. I'm really looking forward to. I kind of want to get into. It's been a little while since I played something that big, that massive scope. Haven't really been playing too many AAA games or anything like that. Well, like Death Stranding was probably the last one. That was last summer that came out. So yeah, I'm kind of ready to dive into something other big. Bigger project. Obviously there's gonna be, like I said, Dragon Quest 7. That's probably gonna take forever because it's a JRPG, but yeah, I'm keeping my eye on this. I'm probably gonna buy this. I might pre-order, I might wait for reviews, but I'm interested. And the last game in this video that's coming out, it's coming out March 26th, that I'm really looking forward to. I don't know why. I've been kind of curious about this. I do believe this is an older series, which actually came out during the 90s for the first time, but I never played this. Now I'm kind of curious to hop into this. This is a whole new game, I believe, so this is not a remake or anything like that. This is just a new game in the series. And if I remember correctly, it's been a while since the last game in the series was released. Could have been back in the 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there. I have no idea. I don't know much about this series. I don't think I've even watched trailers for the older games. Now the reason why these didn't really interest me that much was because these are driving games. That's right, I have one driving game that's coming up, and no, it's not Wreckfest 2, because apparently that's not coming out just yet for PlayStation 5. That's what I've been waiting for the most, but another driving game. And one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this is because, well, I haven't played. I did buy one driving game which is going to be on my next gaming pickups, and that was the biggest disappointment of 2025, but I'll talk about that more once I do my next gaming pickups. I'd really love to get back to driving. It's been so long since I played a driving game that I've enjoyed a lot. So This one looks like it might be this more arcadey, not really like simulation style, but I'm cool with that. I'll take either one as long as it's good. And the game I'm talking about here is a game called Screamer. I have no idea what that name has to do with driving. Screamer. Well, I guess if you just, accelerate real fast, you'll spin your tires so they scream. Do people say that? But Screamer, I saw the trailer and apparently it does have some kind of story mode behind it. There was a guy with blood on his face and stuff like that. The trailer didn't go too much into details when it comes to the story or anything like that, but I'm interested. A bit of a storytelling in my driving game. Sometimes that might work, sometimes it just fucking sucks and it feels like something that's just tacked on to the driving game. Yeah, I have no idea. I've seen the trailer and it's driving around in Japan, if I'm not totally mistaken. There were actually a couple other Japanese driving games that were coming out. Tokyo Extreme Drift or something like that, which also looked kind of nice, but I kind of hate drifting. I'm not really that into drifting. I'll drift while I'm racing, around the corners or something like that, but when the drifting is the kind of point, I'm not really into that. So that one didn't make this list. But Screamer, I don't have a lot to say about it. Driving. But for some weird reason, I'm really kind of looking forward to this one. It's an old established series. I know it has its fans. And one of the reasons is that I haven't played a great new driving game in ages. I actually played Burnout Paradise last year again through the season or the story or, the campaign, all the races. But that's not new, it's just there's nothing new to drive around. But anyway, driving game as my last game. And what are games that you're looking for the most that are coming out during the first quarter or maybe during the next whole goddamn year? I don't know, I have no idea. Last year I just did 10 games that I was looking forward for the next year and some of those got pushed back into this year. Max Payne remake. I'm still waiting for that. Who knows when it'll be out? No idea. What are you gonna buy during the next 3 months or this year? Anyway, fuck off, I'll fuck off, and we'll meet back here when I upload more crap. This has been my upcoming quarterly check for games that are coming out next quarter. Nothing mind-blowing, but just some things that I'm really interested, like the Speedball. I know already it's not probably gonna be great or possibly even good, but the retro nostalgic part of my brain is really interested. That's why. It doesn't always make sense, but sometimes when you're curious enough, you'll find crap that's entertaining because it is crap. Hopefully, at least that's the case with Speedball. Goodbye.